$236. Wow, in the year 2014. So if we want to set this up just to make sure we understand it, okay, so this is 0.0, I'll just call it 0.06 over 1. So here's my little ratio. So this is for the year 1938, and this is for the year 2014. So this is the year 1938, and this is the year 2014. So they're the equivalent fractions. So what cost $14.10 in 1938 is going to cost $236 in 2014. Or what cost 6 cents in 1938 costs $1 in 2014. This is what's called our unit ratio. All right, so now that we kind of understand what's going on, we're going to set up a nice proportion. All right, you ready? So in 1938, 6 cents was worth $1 in 2014. So this is our 1938. And this is our 2014. So they're asking about minimum wage. So what we could buy for $1, we should be able to see what we could buy, like how much it's going to cost in 2013. So if something's $7.25 in 2014, remember 2014 is on the bottom, what would be the cost for the exact same product in the year 1938? Now look, this is minimum wage in 2014. So they want to know, if we work for an hour, what could we buy in 2014? And what would be the cost of that in 1938? So what we buy for an hour's work in 2014, what's the equivalent for an hour's work in 1938? If it comes out to be 25 cents, then these guys have the same purchasing power. The minimum wage will buy you the exact same thing as the minimum wage in both years, if this is 25 cents. If it's not, then one of them we'll have to talk about, like what's happening with the minimum wage. So let's just figure out, let's cross multiply, right? So 1 times x equals 0.06 times 7.25. Let's figure out what the x value is. 0.06 times 7.25 gives us about, I'll just round it to 44 cents. So what you can buy after working an hour in the year 2014, what you can buy for $7.25 in the year 2014 is going to cost you 44 cents in the year 1938. So in order to buy the same thing in the year 2014, where you're getting $7.25, you're going to have to make 44 cents in order to buy the same thing. But look, minimum wage was only 25 cents. So which one has more buying power? This guy does. Do you see what I mean? Like, you make $7.25 in 2014. You're going to have to make 44 cents an hour to make the exact same purchasing power. But since you're only making 25 cents back then, you're not able to buy as much. So you weren't making that much money for 25 cents an hour. So the minimum wage was much too low compared to what we're making in 2014. So the minimum wage in 1938 doesn't have the same buying power as minimum wage. In 2014. Okay? If it came out to be 44 cents, then they would have the exact same buying power. But it's not. Minimum wage is a lot less than that 44 cents. So the 25 cents isn't really covering as much as our 7.25 does. I hope that makes sense. Let's look at this one. So I looked up some information. You can take your time if you want and look it up, but I'm going to let you know, and this is where we would do this in class, and it would take a little bit of time to do this. But I found that the average price of gas in 1981, I just Googled it, and it said it was $1.35. And I looked up the average price of gas in 2014 was $3.70. So those are the two sites. You might find a different site that says something different, but it should be pretty close. It should be pretty close. So they want to know, was gasoline more expensive in 2014 than 1981? Right, it was more expensive, but remember, right, that they are asking if the purchasing power is the same, right? If this is actually more expensive compared to what the dollar is worth. So if you flip back, so take a minute and find the index number for 1981 and find the index number for 2014 for me, okay? So look on your chart, flip back over, look on your chart for 1981 and write that down. Hopefully you got 90.9, and then we've used this one a bunch. On the chart it's 236. So I don't know why, I like doing this. So I always like stacking these. So we've got 90 cent or $90.90 compared to 236. I don't know why I put the zero there. So if you pop that into your calculator, I'm always curious how the dollars compare. So this gives you I'll round it to 39 cents over 1. So what costs $1? Remember the bottom is, this is 2014, and this is 1981. So what costs $1? These fractions are equivalent. So what costs $236 in 2014 costs $90.90 in 1981. And I just put this into my calculator and simplified it. So what costs $1 in 2014 costs 39 cents. In 1981. That's one way we can interpret that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see about this gas situation. Okay, so I'm going to set up, I like setting up these proportions, okay, to see how this works. So we've got 39 cents for every dollar in 1981. Okay, gas was $3.70 in 2014. So if they're exactly the same amount with relation to what the purchasing power is, let's just set that equal to x and cross multiply. Okay, and solve for x. So x times 1 equals 0.39 times 370. So if they cost the same with respect to what the dollar was, in 1981, gas should have cost about $1.44. If the purchasing power is the same, gas should have cost $1.44. But what was it? on average. On average, it was $1.35. So gas was much cheaper compared to the value of $1 than it was in 2014. Does that make sense? So the gas was cheaper. I'm going to put this down. Gas was cheaper than $1.44. So in 1981, gas was a lower price compared to the value of $1. And when, there we go. So gas was cheaper than $1.44. So in 1981, gas was a lower price compared to the value of $1 than in 2014. I hope those make sense. Again, I recommend you watch the video. He does a really nice job explaining it. He does a really nice job. So let me just give you some hints about some problems, right? Cross off 2. And then I don't want you to worry about number 5, okay? So don't worry about number 5 either. 5 kind of goes a little bit along with what we've been doing, but without me being here to go over it with you, I just want you to cross it off. And then we'll probably get to that when we're together again. I'd really like you to concentrate on question 3 and 4, because there were questions like 3 and 4 on the final 1 year. Reading a graph and doing absolute and relative change, those are big ones. So concentrate on 3 and 4. Don't worry about 5, and then I don't think you'll have trouble with the rest of them. I thought those were pretty self-explanatory. But those are due Monday, a week from today, Monday at midnight. Let me know if you have any questions. Just send me a send me a message through Remind that you want to do a Zoom room, okay? And then we'll hang out and work on some problems together. And definitely we can do, the whole class can join one Zoom room. So if you and your group are working together, which is the best, your group and the 4 of us or the 5 of us can get together and answer questions all at one time. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions. This will be the last video for Chapter 2. And then on Wednesday, I expect you to do your review, but I'll send you an announcement for that, and then I'll post the key to that so that you can let me know if you got any of those wrong. All right, we will talk soon. Take care, be well. I miss seeing you, and let me know if you have any questions.